Dedicated to the Death, a short story by Sara Adams. Death is an eternal shadow. He fell upon me. In the blazing midday sun, I didn't suspect anything yet, but he was already beneath me. Slowly, soundlessly, he crawled forth between voices, engine noise, and the distant sound of nature, extended himself upon my path. But believe me, he's always been there, all my life. With my first breath, as a witness to my first scream, my first word, and my first speechlessness, he has been a reliable companion. With him, I cannot be lonely, even though he is often the reason for loneliness. For people are with him that were close, whose laughing and crying could have sounded more often, with whom would have been spoken more often. But with him, I am not lonely. When he stood before me like that, I took his hand. He led me to a bridge on which a circle of onlookers had gathered. Excited shouts, snattily murmurs, the rush of the waves, and the hum of cars driving past. Everything seemed to crash into me like a rapid stream. Then I saw the corpse. I fled, became a shadow of myself. But you were so much farther. Your lifeless body was wearing a blue smile. Death was there for me. I embraced him. No sound reached my ear. Silence surrounded me. Sinking into it, I detached myself from him again and took his hand. Like this, we stepped through the early afternoon sun. Slowly, I began to realize, but reality stayed far. Never again would I look into his eyes, see the sparkle in his iris, my mirror image in them. What were the dull eyes that didn't reveal any feelings, that were closed by a warm hand that moved cold skin over the empty expression? Never again would I hear his voice, the movement of his gentle lips that had warmed mine so often, the breath of fondness and the storm of anger. I would not witness them ever again. Never again would I take his hand and lay my head in it. Never again would I receive his warmth and share his strength. Now he was cold and weak and rigid. Never again would I feel his fingertips on my cheeks. Never again would they wander along my body. Never again could I let my fingers wander along him without meeting the icy coldness. Never again lose myself in his embrace. Never again find comfort in it. Never again give comfort with it. Never again would I experience him. Never again, for he has left me, forsaken me, chosen the easier and unfairer way by simply leaving everything behind, without considering the others, without considering me. He left me voluntarily, without saying anything. Without a word, he had left. Silence had reigned, as we knew it so often, but it had never been uncomfortable. Your distant look, it hadn't unsettled me. I'd gotten to know and love it. It was you, and now that you have shown so much of yourself, you have violently torn it away from me again, violently tore it away from my open hands, robbed it, hurt me, took even more in your haste, threw away what you took. All what meant so much to me, you plunged into the floods. It scattered in the rapid stream and mixed with dirt and trash. You took it from me after you had given it to me as a gift. You thought about yourself. You didn't give the others any thought. You hurt me. Was it so terrible with me? Did I treat you so unfairly? Was it so unbearable with me? Did I not make your life worth living for? Why did you do this? Damn, I love you, loved you, and have failed. For if I had been different, maybe you wouldn't have committed this crime, wouldn't have committed murder on yourself and my heart. What did I do wrong? What should I have done differently? What could have changed this? What could have prevented this? Was I not loving enough, not understanding enough, too blind to see you? What should I have done? What should I have not done? Am I your murderer? Because I confronted you with my problems, because we had problems with each other, because I didn't always have time, because I didn't always sense, because my love was not enough, because even my love didn't change your decision. That condemns me. I stopped after I had walked through the silence with death on my side. The sun bowed. My shadow turned long. I was a shadow of myself, distorted and lacking clear outlines. I stood there and released my hand from that of death, and buried my face in my palms, pulled my hair, scratched over my face, let the blood run along my lip and my throat, screamed, and did not hear, knew it left my mouth, but did not reach my ears. The street lights threw dirty brightness on the pavement. My shadow itself was only a shadow now, melted away in the dull yellow light. Then even he disappeared in the darkness, united with it, didn't distinguish himself from the gloom anymore. My dull gaze blurred with tears that I did not cry. Mechanically, I again stepped through the city that was infested with the night. I heard nothing. The distant sound of nature, it did not exist. The hum of engines, they did not want to give it away. Lanterns threw light around themselves, refused me the ear. The murmur of voices, the shouts in the alleys, they did not get through to me. I saw how they moved their lips, how they grimaced in thought or anger, but only soundlessness surrounded them. They did not grant me the splendor of soothing, distracting noise. It was silence which condemned me. For a long time I walked. Death accompanied me. Now I am standing on the bridge. The onlookers aren't there anymore. Neither is the body. He is there. I cannot and will not think anymore. Not even steps remain of me. My shadow lies before me with the sun rising. He separates himself from the darkness of the night and is infinitely long. Then I start remembering your gaze that longed for me, your lips that worshipped me, your hands that strengthened me, you who loved me. Finally, I find tears, tears of sorrow, tears of joy, tears of anger, tears of despair, tears that do not let me forget you, for I loved you and love you still, even though your lifeless body rests. In me you live on, in my heart, my thoughts, as part of my life. You are immortal. I say goodbye. I realize your death, which you chose, which was your decision, for it was your life. I was part of it, but not its owner. You were good to me, loved me with a pure heart, but I was not your life. You were part of mine. You enriched it. For that, I thank you. That you're not here anymore, it makes me sad. But it does not make you guilty, nor does it me. It does not destroy me, and it does not let you die. Your eyes, they are still with me. Your lips, they are still with me. Your hands, they are also with me. But most of all, your love, for it is immortal. I notice the blazing midday sun falling on me, and death, who sometimes walked in front of me, behind me, or next to me, The shadow is beneath me again. I know he will crawl forth again, slowly, silently. I know he will grow again, will join with the night again, will shrivel, will always be there. Death is an eternal shadow, but he does not make lonely. I hear a chickadee chirp that has perched itself on the railing and is now staring at me with its black eyes. I hear its trill, and such a feeling of bliss overcomes me at the sound of this purity. I hear voices and engines. I feel your love. Death is my eternal companion. He carries with him the spirit of the departed.